Hey, good morning. Glenn Longabaugh here, agronomist with Premier Ag. And I just want to start by saying I know that it has been a challenging spring. This is the 6th of June. Personally, I have about a third of my crop yet to plant. And so if you've had a struggle this spring, I certainly appreciate that. Now, that being said, I can also tell you that it's easy as growers to get wound up in what didn't go so well and to absolutely dwell on things that we cannot fix. And so I think it's really important that we take this time, to kind of turn the corner, if you will, and start thinking about the crop that we have that does look better, right? How many fields did you plant that maybe it was too heavy, that you really didn't, withstand, well exceeded your expectations? You know what? It may not be perfectly even. You look at this crop behind me, and we've got plants here that are all between, V8 to V10. Some of them are knee high, some of them are almost chest high. But here's what I can tell you. There is still an incredible amount of yield potential out here. This crop has never stressed other than early on from a little bit of moisture. So what do you do, right? Where do you start? Well, one is to quit dwelling on maybe those farms that don't look so good and think about, how can I be proactive? How can I fix the best crops and make them yield even more? Because that's where your yield potential really is, right? First thing I do is I've got my macros done. When I'm talking about my macros is nitrogen and sulfur, right? Those are the things that we typically side dress. If you haven't got side dressing started, man, you need to get that underway. If you've made your side dress applications or your top dress applications, then it's really a great time to think about maybe utilizing tissue samples, right? Get with your local account rep, say, hey, I've got such and such farm, looks pretty decent. I think we need to probably go all in on it. Have them take a tissue sample, then you get that reconnaissance back, and it gives you an idea of what to do to help that crop yield to its maximum potential, right? I can tell you that if you don't have time for a tissue sample, like this corn probably needs to be sprayed today. What would be the plan of attack? Well, I'd probably, if I thought it was good on macros, then I'd probably just start with something like ZMB, maybe add a little more boron to it, and then use a prophylactic fungicide, right? If I get a tissue sample back and I'm short on macros, then I'll probably use something like Gainer 20-20-20, and then maybe add a little manganese, add a little boron on top of that. But let's transition to the fungicide piece, right? You're probably saying, well, why run a fungicide, right? There's really not much pathogen pressure out here yet. That's absolutely true. But one of the values of using, say, a mid-tier fungicide this time of year is, one, it doesn't take an extra application because we're already going over the crop. And then two, we can use mid-tier fungicide products, which actually have great utility on things like northern and gray leaf spot, which start off of the soil as saprophytes. They jump onto the plant and then work their way up the plant. When we use fungicides early, it's not that the fungicides last until R2, but what they do is they set the pathogens back. They have to restart their life cycle, and it affords us then to make a R2, R3 application on our ARP stage pass and not have to go in there at R1, right? R1 applications almost inherently run out of steam and don't protect us late for things like southern rust and tar spot. So the call to action is, if you're down in the dumps about your crop, quit dwelling on the things that maybe don't look so good and start focusing on the crop that does look good, because that's where the majority of your potential is. Anyway, I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions, please call your Premier account rep, and they'll be eager to help you set this crop on the right path. Thank you.